Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by Air National Guard. We are exactly halfway through the AU softball season. 15 games down, 15 yet to play here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex. Second half of our doubleheader. Team Romero and Team Remo looking to get in the winners column. They both lost their games on Wednesday. Those games are played in Greenville, North Carolina. So two hungry teams trying to add some points to their totals. And that is super important with Athletes Unlimited across all sports. It's always about the points and the leaderboard, and it is always fluid. We've already had one game today. It was won by Team Alexander. And look at how Team Alexander, Odyssey Alexander and Bubba Nichols have skyrocketed up that leaderboard. They are 1 and 2. Odyssey is number 1 with a bullet. Over 200 points separate her and number 2. Looks like Odyssey is going to be a captain for week 4, but we still have much more to be decided. So glad you decided to join us with my partner, Danielle Laurie. My longtime partner, I am Eric Collins. Glad to have you here. Let's talk about these two teams. Both of them hungry. Both had a chance to win on Wednesday. Both couldn't get it done. Today is the day that they need to get something happening.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfect. Both these teams coming off of a loss on Wednesday, a couple days in between for some rest, but they got to turn it up a notch or two. You know the importance of moving the leaderboard comes with winning innings, but more importantly, winning those games.
At Team Romero, they lost, but they did have some decent numbers put up because of the power that Sierra Romero, the captain of this year's team, has put on the roster.
I mean, they were not messing around right out of the gate. I remember watching Rachel Garcia turn on this pitch and Jesse Warren and think, holy smokes, Sierra Romero has put together a squad. But it was a late comeback by Team Davidson that shut them down late. But they are a fun team to watch, and they are led up top by Zirkle.
Yeah, Morgan Zirkle leads things off, followed by Sierra Romero, who moved herself up. She had been to number 3 in the lineup. She's now flip-flopping with Amanda Lorenz, who drops to 3. Rachel Garcia, Jesse Warren, Lily Piper, the 3 with the home runs, right in the middle of the lineup. Sydney Romero had been batting a little higher up. She's moved down to the 8th hole by her sister. And Shannon Rhodes, last year's Rookie of the Year, she's hitting in the 9th spot. That 9 will bat against
Brooke Yanez.
Brooke Yanez, first pitch, misses down low. Yanez to Zirkle, lefty-lefty to begin our ball game. Zirkle, Romero, and Lorenz. Batting in the top of the first inning. Already a win today for Team Alexander. 4-0 shutout win for Team Alexander. Odyssey Alexander and Kat Sandercock combining for the shutout. Ball and 2 strikes to Zirkle. Zirkle was a captain for week 2's games. She began the day 23rd on the leaderboard, so she has dropped. Still putting up her typical numbers. She's hitting .421 on the year, but she has not been on teams that have been winning innings or the entire game. Swatted into center field. McClenny makes the play. Better try someone else. Zirkle hit it hard, but to the wrong place on the field. McClenny's in center field. That's where balls go to die. So Sierra Romero next in line. She'll bat against Brooke Yanez, playing in her first pro season.
And the lefty getting the ball today. 4.2 innings so far thrown. This is a great opportunity for her here on Saturday to come out and do what she does best. Mix speeds, use that curveball. Can go up in the zone a little bit, relies on that off speed. She's fun to watch.
College teammate with Megan Remo. Looks like they're back in Westwood, UCLA. Teammates once again. 1 ball and 1 strike. You see the cowboy hats on. Romero lifts it down the left field line. And it's off the glove of Victoria Hayward. On her way to second, standing is Romero. That was a tough chance with a lot of wind. We'll have to see what the ruling is.
Sierra Romero just turns on this pitch, and Vic kind of lays out, but almost seemed like it might have handcuffed her. Solid hustle from Sierra Romero, especially when she recognizes that ball gets by Vic Hayward. But I guarantee you, Eric, 9 out of 10 times, that's a catch that Victoria Hayward makes. She would say that.
Well, Sierra Romero is very happy that the official score ruled it a double. So it's a plus 20 for Romero, who began the day 6th on the leaderboard. Runner in scoring position with 1 out, Amanda Lorenz, the batter. Lorenz threatening the all-time batting record. She's hitting .500 on the nose. 10 hits, 20 at-bats, and oh, by the way, 6 walks so far through 7 games. She leads the league in on-base percentage by a wide margin. And now she'll have to come from behind. Down in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Only person in AU who smiles when they get 2 strikes on them. Oh my goodness! Way upstairs, and Amanda Lorenz just couldn't lay off of it. First strikeout for Yanez.
And this is uncharacteristic for Amanda Lorenz, but I gotta toot the horn here for Brooke Yanez, because this pitch looks like an absolute meatball to Amanda Lorenz, hence why you're getting that big swing and miss. 43.3% of the time, she is getting hitters to chase that pitch up in the zone, and that was a prime example.
Here's Rachel Garcia. One of the best two-way players in the world today. Excels in the circle and in the right-handed batter's box. Pops it up. Shallow right. Caroline Jacobson makes the play, and the 1-out double to Sierra Romero does no damage against Brooke Yanez. Half inning in the books. Team Romero nothing. Team Remo heading to the bat rack.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
You want to be like the greats? First, believe you are. Greatness requires drip, not like that, like this. The greats aren't afraid to fail. They're fueled by it. Trophies require greatness, but greatness doesn't require trophies, because greatness isn't about what you've done, it's about what you do next.
Just getting underway, Team Romero had a double by Sierra Romero, but she could not score. So now Team Remo will bat. And right in the middle of that line, Deja Mulipola is heating up.
I mean, we're talking about the champ from last season, 2022, won Athletes Unlimited, heating up that bat. And it doesn't go without saying, when you win Athletes Unlimited, there's a different type of target on your back the following season. Everybody wants what you want. And I can't say that I've seen a hitter compete the way Deja did last season. Every week she just continued to get better, dealt with that type of pressure. She was rock solid.
So kind of an abundance of riches for Team Remo. You get 3 great leadoff batters, and you can't put them all in leadoff, so it's going to be Hayward, Stewart Hunter, and McClenny hitting 1, 2, and 3. Those will be the batters here in the first inning against Shannon Sale.
Shannon Sale, that power righty, 6.1 innings pitched so far on the season. Maybe a little bit too many walks, but fresh opportunity here today going up against Team Remo.
I like it with Athletes Unlimited, the way these teams switch spots all the time. You can see how teams value different players. Victoria Hayward plays center field every game she ever plays, unless she's with Haley McClenny.
Yep.
But flip it around, Haley McClenny bats leadoff on every team she's ever involved with, unless she's teammates with Victoria Hayward. So,
A little give and take.
obviously the captains here in Athletes Unlimited think that McClenny is slightly better than Vic as a center fielder, but that Vic is slightly better than McClenny as a leadoff hitter. Line drive, bullet into right field. Some things you guess at, other things you just know. After Hayward made that misplay in left field in the first inning, you knew she was going to come back and have a good AB. So Victoria Hayward just keeps on keeping on. She has been doing this for 4 years with that base hit to right field. Vic now leads everyone in the history of this league with 63 hits. She has teammates in the 2 and the 3 spot. McClenny with 61 hits, and just slightly below that, Tori Vidalis, who is sitting in the 5th hole in this lineup. So talk about impact veterans playing for Team for Ramo. Hayward, McClenny, and Vidalis, 1, 2, and 3 in hits, and they're all in the same lineup against Shannon Sale.
Well, and Victoria Hayward wears number 1 for a reason. She was the first athlete to sign with Athletes Unlimited. So it's fitting that she's the one that leads the all-time hits record with 63.
Oh my goodness, that could have been a double play ball, but it's going to be an infield single. Ball goes off the glove of Shannon Sale. If she just let that ball go, I think that would have been a 6-3 double play.
I'm with you, but the pitcher instinct sometimes when the ball's coming at you and it seems like it's a hard hit, you know it in the moment, but it's trusting your instinct of where your defense is at and saying, hey, is Sid Romero going to be able to pinch this ball up the middle? But that natural reaction, sometimes you can't help yourself.
So all of a sudden, Haley McClenny, who's not batting in the leadoff spot, but instead in a run-producing spot in the 3 hole, she's got a chance to give everyone on her team a 10-point first inning.
And to me, when I think of Haley McClenny, I just think of rock steady. I mean, you look at her numbers from the 2020 season where she got 5th place to the last AUX season of 2023 coming 7th. She has not ever been above 13.
Wow.
And that to me just goes to show how good she is, where she's getting drafted, how steady she is in the outfield, but more importantly, the presence she has when she sets foot in the batter's box. She sees the field differently than a lot of people, hence why, to me, she is one of the best hitters in the world. Like, she really is. She can barrel balls up, her barrel control through the zone, can exploit a defense in a heartbeat. To me, when I think of the top 5 hitters that I've ever had to face with Team USA, she was by far one of the hardest in the top 5 toughest outs that I've come across.
And how good has Alabama's program been over the years? You just saw that batting average for Haley McClenny, the best ever. And she wasn't just putting the ball on the ground and running like her hair was on fire. She was swinging and hitting line drives gap to gap. All right, 3 balls and a strike. Runners on at first and at second. Oh, laid down a bunt. That'll be a sacrifice. It's a +10. I thought that pitch was up and in. I thought it would have been ball 4. But it's a +10 for McClenny, and now 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
And this is going back to the basics of the game. She goes with the sneaky sack bunt. Shannon Sale fields her position well. But I think this is so important and speaks volumes to this point system. With now you have 2 ducks in a row here at 2nd and 3rd. And putting Muli Pola in a ribby situation with some inning points on the line. Every single inning with Athletes Unlimited is worth 10 points. You can have the rollover innings if you're not able to score. But right now, a good opportunity here for Team Framo to strike first.
Infield has to play in. 2-0. Muli Pola, last year's champion. Starting today, 54th on the leaderboard, 54th out of 60 players. And they may be just pitching around her. 3-0 to Muli Pola. And Sierra Romero just says, you know what, let's cut this nonsense. I'm pretty sure they're just going to walk her now to face Vidalis with the bases loaded.
When I like this, this is the second interaction that you've seen by Sierra Romero going to talk to Shannon Sale, and her being the captain, something that speaks volumes. She doesn't necessarily want the best players, but she wants just absolute dogs out there on the field, athletes that are going to compete, and you saw her success last weekend being a first-time captain. Sure, she wants to roll that over into week 3.
So 4 pitches, none of them particularly close. And the bases are now loaded for Tori Vidalis. TV Tori Vidalis. I wrote down something the other day that I don't recall ever writing. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. That's what Tori Vidalis was in Greenville on Wednesday. She's been one of the most consistently productive hitters with Athletes Unlimited. Rarely goes a day without a base hit, or at least getting on with a walk. Golden opportunity for Team Paremo here in the bottom of the first inning.
And I think right now for Shannon Sale, it's figuring out, okay, what's a pitch that I'm going to be able to sneak in the zone and get ahead of these hitters, and then I can spread with my curveball and kind of bring it into the other batter's box. You see Rachel Garcia warming up in that bullpen.
That's a good pitch.
And that's the pitch I'm talking about. If you can hit a solid corner, I think the best thing you can do with that is either really poke it down the line, or it's going to be a foul ball. And now at a 1-2 count, it's where you want to toy with the hitter, be smart.
Infield still in all the way around for Vidalis, who hits the ball as hard as anyone in the world today. Off-speed pitch, fouled right behind home plate, and we'll do it again.
Hey, that's the second ball that's come your way, and you're not even making an attempt to get me a foul ball here. You could have reached out, and you could have grabbed that, and I could have signed it for one of these kids.
National Player of the Year.
I can't get out that
champion,
window.
Olympic medalist.
I can't get out that window.
You're fending for yourself, sister.
That was a gimme ball to you.
2 balls and 2 strikes. This inning began with Victoria Hayward, a line drive smash to right. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter hit the ball on the ground, deflected off the pitcher's glove. Infield single. McClenny a sacrifice, and then the walk to Mulipola. Clubbed foul.
Tori Vidalis last season, number 10 on that leaderboard in the championship season.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Bounced foul. We'll have number 9 coming.
And this is where, as a pitcher where you're out there in the circle, it comes down to that mental grind at times of, gosh, I mean, what can I throw here? She's fouling off everything. But at the end of the day, it comes to that location and trusting your defense and knowing that even though it's annoying and she's seeing a lot of pitches, every pitch opens up the opportunity for that next pitch. And why we're throwing this pitch on the hands could potentially now open up something on the outer half here on this 10th pitch. If she can spin a curveball and hit a good spot, I think she could get it off the end of the barrel.
Looper, that'll fall. 1 run will score. Here comes Stewart-Hunter. She'll score standing. It's a 2-0 lead for Team Paremo. Classic Tori Vidalis.
In this pitch, you look at where it is. You look at the setup by Taylor Edwards behind the plate, bleeds way back over the white. Tori Vidalis, too good of a hitter. Battling this many pitches, you know she's going to be on time for something. And when you miss, these hitters make you pay, and that is a prime example right there. Tori Vidalis stepping up big, getting 10 points for everyone on her team, and a couple big insurance runs there.
Still just 1 out. Delaney Wiz the batter. Looking for a first homer of the season. .250 batting average. 6 hits and 24 bats. Good block by the catcher, Edwards. Sale laboring a bit here in the first inning. 27 pitches. Runners on at the corners.
When it's that pitch right there, Eric, that curveball on the outside part of the plate, if she can't get that first strike, she's in tough. And that's where it has to come down to, okay, what's a pitch that I can locate here consistently or know that it's in my back pocket to get ahead of these hitters? And right now, I don't think she has enough command to be able to get that pitch at this time consistently for a strike.
Sales 3-1. 5-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded once again.
Number 10, Abby Ramirez.
Second walk allowed by Sale. So 3 singles, 2 walks, and the bases are loaded for Abby Ramirez. Sierra Romero may be giving a little bit of a scouting report. She was college teammates for 4 years at Michigan with Abby Ramirez. First official at bat on the year for Abby Ramirez, who has been a part of every AU championship season.
When you know that as a pitcher, meaning Shannon Sale knows when she's going up against Abby that she doesn't have a lot of ABs, that's when you have to go straight beast mode, attack the strike zone.
Lifted in the air, foul territory. Warren makes the play. 2 down.
The right fielder, number 51, Caroline Jacobson.
So already an inning win for Team Faremo. Chance to really explode though. 2 outs, bases loaded. Caroline Jacobson, the batter. Jacobson started at Duke, played 4 years, had an extra year eligibility, and went to another newbie program, finished off her college experience this past spring at Clemson. Softball's come a long way, Danielle. 2 teams that didn't even have softball teams when you played just a decade ago.
Well, and you think about Valerie Cagle, National Player of the Year, 2-way player for Clemson this year. Coach John Rittman has done such a good job with that program. And when I think of John Rittman, I think of Stanford, because he was a huge piece in their success back in the day as well. And you look at Stanford and where they have been with Nyjah Kennedy and 3rd overall in the Women's College World Series. They've put themselves back on the map. It's crazy how my brain, like, I love the college athlete, but then I'm sitting here and I'm like, God, I'd love to see like a Nyjah Kennedy in a league like this, like as a pitcher, and how darn good she is as a freshman. Like, these opportunities are so cool that these young ladies can get that out of college and continue to keep playing if they don't know whatever it is that they want to do when they graduate at 21, 22, because not a lot of people should know right out of the gate. They should be able to enjoy this type of experience, be around like-minded women, and continue to get better into their prime.
3-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Sydney Romero throws out Jacobson, and the side is retired. But 2-run score. Team Faremo with an inning win. They lead 2-0. The second is next. On a perfect day for softball here in Rosemont, Illinois, a good start for Team Romero. They lead 2-0 as we play our second inning. Jesse Warren, Taylor Edwards, Lily Piper will bat here in the second inning against Brooke Yanez. Our star in the stands is longtime Athletes Unlimited veteran DJ Sanders. Hey DJ, how you doing and who are you with?
I'm great. I am with, okay, I got these names down. I'm starting with Kaden with a K because I just learned her name. This is Haley and this is Cameron. Got it.
Awesome.
Wait, who's over here?
And since we're identifying everyone, DJ, I kind of forgot. I remember talking to your mom in years past. You're DJ Sanders.
Yes.
But your given name is what? Can you remind people from home?
Yes, it's Donnie Janae, and that question just made my mom so happy.
Did you bring your puppy?
I did. She is not allowed in the stands anymore because of the time that she ran on the field the first year. So she is banned from here now.
Dang it.
Yes, I know.
I still have visuals of someone wearing that blow-up costume in the dome and your dog going absolutely nuts at that costume. Was it a shark costume?
Yes, that's her time to shine. She doesn't usually get out that much, so whenever she's in the dome, that's her time to just let loose.
Talk to me a little bit about this alliance. I know you guys got to go out and help run one of the practices. Which team were you with? What age group was it? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I actually didn't get to go.
Oh.
I know, it's really sad. But it was more because for coaching, I didn't know what rules I was allowed to break, or I knew not to break rules.
Yes.
So I was like, I think it would just be safer if I didn't go all together, so that's what happened.
Yeah, you're coaching now at Memphis, am I right?
I was up until recently. I just got a new job.
Give me the news. What's going on?
I will be one of the assistant coaches at Ole Miss this year coming up.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, going back home. I know you're from Columbus, Mississippi.
Yes, yes.
I know I asked you a stupid question, but they don't play slow pitch softball anymore on the high school level, do they?
I think they do.
They do still?
Yes,
Wow.
in the fall. Yeah.
See, we got to get that on ESPN. Like, I would love to see the high school girls playing slow
So
pitch.
you would play slow pitch in the fall, and you play
Yes.
fast pitch in the spring.
Yes, that's right.
And how different are the games, in your opinion, since you played them both?
Oh man, extremely. So I mean, here now everybody's elite. So like the offensive, game is pretty active as we're seeing right now. But for slow pitch, I mean, every single ball was put in play. So it was like very high level of defense was what we were seeing all the time. So the game was fast. Balls are hitting all over the place. There were shifts. People would move in the box to hit the ball where they wanted to because in slow pitch you have time to do stuff like that. So it's really fun. It's
All right,
really
DJ,
fun.
and since I got to ask you this.
'Kay.
You were obviously an All-American, a wonderful player. You've been a great pro for 4 years. What are you better at, slow pitch or fast pitch?
That is a great question. I don't know. I mean, I think I would have to say fast pitch now, maybe just because I've been playing it longer. But I think I really could have done some damage if I had gotten the chance to play slow pitch in college.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick though, for someone that needs a little tips on the hitting piece for slow pitch, is there anything crazy? Because I can't hit at all slow pitch.
Okay, so what works for me, right? You have to stand there like you're uninterested. Like the ball's not coming, just hang out, put the bat on your shoulder, and just relax. And when the ball's like 3/4 of the way there, then you get ready to swing.
Okay, wow.
And we got
Noted.
one more challenge for you. Since you've been here in Chicago for 4 years, we got to get you to try 16-inch softball, which is played here in Chicago without gloves. That's your next task.
Oh, okay. That sounds kind of dangerous, but I think I'd be down for it.
DJ, thank you. We're going to check in with you later today.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
One of my favorite people in Athletes Unlimited. DJ Sanders, who clearly is one of the favorite teammates. She is always in demand when roommates are kind of being figured out every year.
And she always gives a good interview.
Yes,
like
she
when
does.
we're in the chair chat or when we've done some stuff in the dugout. It's always so good to just kind of talk shop with.
All right, Jesse Warren, infield or single. Taylor Edwards, a single. Lily Piper pops out. So 1 out, runners on at first and at second for Sydney Romero. Oh my goodness. Seems like every other pitch she's almost drilled. Sydney Romero's been hit with a pitch 4 times in 7 games so far this season. In her career, She's been hit with a pitch 8 times. Look at her on-base percentage. It's .375 with a batting average of .167 because of all the time she gets hit. Into center field, hit well, gone! This time, Sydney Romero hits back! A 3-run homer! And Team Romero takes a 3-2 lead.
Number 2, Sydney Romero.
This looks a little different than the Grand Slam last week, Eric. This was an absolute no-doubter off the bat. Exit velo coming in hot at 75.5 miles an hour. 241 feet, no doubt about it. That has to feel so good.
So the younger Romero, one swing of the bat puts 3 runs on the board for Team Romero. Shannon Rhodes batting with the bases clear.
And that's when Big Sis is appreciative of having little sis on our team.
Healthy cut, missed by Rhodes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brooke Yanez is trying to get her mind right. Remember, you're a pitcher and you give up an earned run, it's a -10. So this inning has cost her 30 points on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship with that piece to the pie as far as how you're able to gain points. Like you said, +4 for every out recorded, but can hit you hard when you get those runners on and you give up, whether it's a home run or a big-time hit, because you can find yourself moving down that leaderboard.
3 balls and a strike to the number 9 hitter, Shannon Rhodes. Let's check in with Savannah, who's with our early hero.
Sydney, that's an explosive way to start the day. Tell me your plan, stepping into the box, and how it paid off for you.
Yeah, I think for me, we do something called gate before every game, and Sierra asked, like, what is something you're going to bring today? And I think for me, like, the last couple weeks, I don't know, you're wanting to do so good and you press just a little bit, so it kind of takes me back to, like, what I tell my own players. Just be where your feet are, be still, and be yourself as a player, and sometimes it's easy to kind of get out of your comfort zone here. So for me, it was just being calm like I am normally and not trying to overdo it too much. So that was my plan going into it.
No, what another one of those things you've been facing in your pass at bats is getting hit by a pitch. You saw them come in a little tight on you, and then it came back out. Tell me that pitch that you were able to take yard and really just trying to protect yourself. I know you're working on a nasty bruise right now, too.
Yeah, so the pitch before, she threw me in. I tend to get hit a lot here, so I think my plan for that was to be on time because I was late on that pitch she threw me. So for me, it was more about getting my timing down, and that one I was a little bit early, but I was able to stay on it long enough.
Thanks, Sydney. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Savannah, thank you so much. Sydney Romero has been hit with a pitch 4 times through the first 7 games, but she now has a couple of homers and 8 runs batted in next to her name. 1 time through the order is going to be it for Brooke Yanez. She is lifted. Georgina Korick will replace her. So it's pretty easy to follow along, Danielle Laurie, with what these captains are thinking about. Every time through the lineup, thank you, next in line.
Yeah, potentially that short leash mentality, and that to me has been the trend of Athletes Unlimited, and what has impressed me the most is that they've kind of learned over the course of the couple seasons what's worked and what hasn't, and I think changing it up like this is perfect. And Georgina Korick on Wednesday night, even though they did not get the win, she was so good at painting corners. Her off speed was out of this zone, and it was just so good. 4 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up those 3 hits. That 1 run she gave up in extra innings with the Aaliyah Andrews base hit, but she definitely has been throwing well.
Yeah, that strikeout to walk ratio, that's off the charts. 7 strikeouts, no walks. That's prime Danielle Laurie back in Washington, if you ask me. Top of the order, Morgan Zirkle lined out to center field to begin our ball game. Zirkle is the only human who can say they played in every single game in Athletes Unlimited history. swats this one into the gap. Easy double for Zirkle. Maybe a triple. On her way to second, she'll stop there. No need to get greedy with 2 outs. So Zirkle, her first base hit of the ball game.
Romero.
Such a good job. Pitch missed, leaks a little bit over the heart of the plate. And Zirkle just puts a great swing on it. It's been so fun to watch over the course for years at Athletes Unlimited. And now the head coach at Marshall, which is pretty special, getting to be head coach at your alma mater.
If I was recruiting and I was Morgan Zirkle, I would say just turn on the television when we're playing a game, because you will see how I want you to play. Both sides, defensively, offensively, opportunistic, smart, aggressive. She can find players like herself. She can win a lot of games. Romero going to be robbed by her college teammate. Abby went deep to her left, and Abby Ramirez throws out Sierra Romero. Side is retired, but 3-run score for Team Romero, courtesy of 1 swing of the bat.
Well, and this has to feel so good. 241 feet, no doubt about it. Dead center, Sydney Romero puts Team Romero on top.
A lot of times as girls and as women, we're taught to be humble. But there's a point when that confidence, you need to turn it up.
You wake up, you open your eyes, it is game day.
I did not want to be late.
Racing to the field and getting those butterflies. The sounds, the smells.
We thought we were so tough, putting on eye black.
Acting like you're a stud even though you're 10 years old.
That one swing that just feels so good.
You're figuring out who you are, and you're doing it together.
Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by the Air National Guard and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Doesn't get much better. Athletes Unlimited Softball now in its 4th championship season. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited Softball season, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, 980 trees have been committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support. Already today in our second game, we are talking about 50 trees planted, 5 runs through the first inning and a half, and a pitching change for Team Romero. Rachel Garcia is going to take the ball away from Shannon Sale.
Well, I like this move. You get the lead, you're up 3-2. There was probably going to be a good chance that there was a short leash with Shannon Sale, and the opportunity presented itself to bring Garcia in.
Sis Bates will lead things off. It'll be 9-1-2. Bates, Hayward, Stewart, Hunter. Bates and Garcia clearly familiar with each other, both in the pro game and in Pac-12 play.
Was she mad about it?
Bates, former Washington Husky. Rachel Garcia, one of the all-time greats at UCLA.
What was that? Back-to-back AUX winners, 2022 season. She has won this 2023 season. It just goes to show how darn good she is.
Oh my goodness, up and into Bates. That's a different week for Rachel Garcia. Last week she was the captain and control when she came into a game. And she pitched a lot of innings. A lot of pitches in those innings as well. This week has to take her marching orders from Sierra Romero.
When I felt like it almost looked like she was pressing more last week. Like week 1, I felt like she was money. She was able to hit good spots. Everything was kind of falling her way. But last week, it just didn't look like a typical Garcia week. And Wednesday, completely different. I thought she threw so well. Mind you, they didn't get the win, but that doesn't take away from how well you throw and compete for your team. She was just able to hit good spots. She could go with that rise ball when she needed to. She could get ahead on the inner half with that screwball. And I think it just goes to show, even sometimes when you know what's coming from a pitcher like her, it's still really hard to hit.
One of the cool things about this day and age with softball is if you squint, you can always see a little bit of the past. I talk about it all the time. Rachel Garcia, to me, is the modern-day version of Lisa Fernandez, one of the best to ever play both white ball and yellow ball. Played at UCLA. Popped up, playable. Piper makes the play. But it's not just Garcia who reminds of Lisa Fernandez, but also the starting pitcher today for Team Faremo. Brooke Yanez wears number 16 in honor of her pitching coach at UCLA, Lisa Fernandez.
I mean,
so one of the all-time best still being remembered here 20 years after she hung him up.
If Fernandez reached out and said, hey, you want to throw a bullpen? Even though I don't play anymore, I'd be like, I'm in. Tell me, like, you go back, she was one of the first people that I remember watching at the Canada Cup when I was really little that inspired me to want to do this like that. Like, she was just a dog out there. Like, didn't care what anyone thought. The way she carried herself was so awesome. Like, this swagger and demeanor of, like, I'm literally going to kill you in the circle. And you feel that. Like, as a kid, you can look at that and be like, wow, that's what I want to be. Or you look at that and you're like, oh, that's too much. But that's the competitor. And that's what made Lisa Fernandez the absolute GOAT in the game. And everybody knows.
It's so interesting you mentioned that. I was about to go there. I remember watching and following Team USA in 2003 and 2004, and I kept hearing people call Lisa Fernandez the GOAT. And this is 20 years ago. Now it's kind of popular, and everyone says, oh, the GOAT of this, the GOAT of that. Back then, I'd never heard the term before. Nice play running into the outfield made by Sydney Romero, 2 down. So the first time I ever heard the term GOAT, greatest of all time, was about, not Tom Brady, not about Michael Jordan, but about Lisa Fernandez on the softball field.
Hey, I'm really glad that you learned what GOAT meant through Lisa Fernandez.
In 2003, 20 years ago.
And I mean, you've seen a lot, so.
She's on my Mount Rushmore. Got a yellow ball Mount Rushmore. Lisa Fernandez, Jenny Finch, Kat Osterman, and I'm going with Kelly Kretschmann. Just because of the 20 years she spent as a pro. That's my yellow ball Mount Rushmore.
I'll forgive you. Just kidding.
Little number foul. No, it's all about getting from where we were to where we are now.
I'm with you.
Jenny Finch putting in 10 years of pro ball, dusty fields, making sure that people kept their eyes on the pro game, not just the college game. Lisa Fernandez for the transition between white ball and yellow ball. Kat for 20 years of dominance. And Kretschmann as a position player. Not a ton of accolades as a player, but cannot be forgotten because of how wonderful she was.
Kretschmann and Fernandez, those two for me. I was very lucky to get the opportunity to play with Kelly Kretschmann for some good years with the USSSA Pride, but never got to play against or with Lisa Fernandez, but those two to me would be the absolute GOATs.
Kelsey Stewart Hunter, no swing. Now, if I had to do a Women's College World Series GOAT, and I'm not just because you're next to me, you're number one at the bullet. With your performance in your national championship season at Washington, the way you took the ball every single day, the way you contributed with the bat in your hands.
Times were different. Times were different. Because like I look at like Rachel Garcia and what she was able to do and be the back-to-back player of the year at Kehlani Ricketts. And like they impressed me too. You can toot my horn all day.
Well, your numbers are so different because of every single inning of every single game taking the ball.
Times have changed. That was, I logged some innings back in the day.
Is that why you're brushing your hair with your left hand these days?
No, I can't hold a blow dryer and hold my right arm up in the air.
Is that true?
It's 100% true.
You should blow dry your hair like underhanded, like
backwards.
You
Love that I can make you laugh like that.
Brush your teeth with your left hand.
Jeez Louise. I'm not alone.
All right, so 2-out walk to Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. Walks are worth 8, plus 8 for Stewart-Hunter. Haley McClenny laid down a sacrifice bunt, plus 10 in the first inning. We've got an inning win on the line here. Team Romero scored 3 times at the top of the second inning.
It's not a bad spot either. She wanted it with a 2-0 count. You have to try to obviously locate something for a strike, but I'm with you. That's a pitch where it's like, oh man, that's good bite. It doesn't hit her. It hits a solid corner. A little too far inside.
Let's see if she swings 3-0. Taking all the way, 3-1.
Haley McClenny taking a peek. Edwards set up outside there. The ball didn't look like it was in the strike zone. She's someone that's so fun to watch. She does wear her emotions on her sleeve.
So Garcia gets herself back in this count. Halo. Foul out of play. McClenny does not have her normal batting average, but she does have her normal on-base percentage because of her eye. She's walked 6 times in 7 games coming into today's action. Runner on at first will be off with a pitch. And it's walk number 7 for McClenny. So the 2-out rally continues. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs. And Deja Mulipolo is next in line. Mulipolo walked an inning ago, but that was against Shannon Sale.
You know what surprises me the most, like just looking at that stat line, that out of 60 athletes right now, Deja Mulipolo is 55. Last year she won it. Like that's how sometimes stuff just happens, or whether you're on teams that are winning, or you just see last year how phenomenal she was because she was consistent. It's hard to be that consistent week to week to week. And I mean, she was a sure thing. I feel like in the beginning of week 4, we're like, oh yeah, no doubt about it. Like she's gonna run away with this. A little bit different in 2023.
Yeah, the numbers are not terrible for Mulipolo. She came in today, 227 batting average, 5 hits and 22 at bats. She's got a homer and 5 runs batted in. But the problem has been in that win column. You see 190 points. That is not a lot 7 games into the season. The win points are both winning an inning and winning a game.
And those are things sometimes that are just completely out of your control, right? Like you can't control where you're drafted, or sometimes if you win or lose games, you can have a really good game 4 for 4, but if you don't win, you're not going to get those win points. And how this point system works, for people that are wondering, I mean, there's 3 ways to earn points, and it's with the win points, the MVP points, and those stat points. So winning innings get you 10 points. Every single player on the team gets 50 win points if your team wins at the end. The MVP, 1, 60, 42, 23, and then your individual points.
Mulipolo strikes out. It is an inning win for Team Romero. Plus 10 for everyone on their roster. 3-2 ball game. The third is next. Top of the third inning, it is a 3-2 lead for Team Romero. A 3-run home run by Sydney Romero in the second inning gives them an inning win. Delaney Wiz wearing a microphone. Let's go into the game with the Air National Guard.
Get it going, don't stop. First and last, got you. Let's go. Have a day, bud. Ready to see some real speed because I'm taking off on the pitch. You're gonna get blown over by the freaking winds that I'm about to create right now. See ya. This is an intense song. Kind of scary a little bit.
I love it. Just whatever top of the mind. Let's talk about it. All right, native California, Delaney Wiz. 2 different schools out in California, of course, finishing up as a UCLA Bruin, 2-time All-Pac-12. And she's going to join us now. Hey, Delaney, can you hear us over there at third base?
Hi, yes, I can hear you guys.
Hey, thank you for doing this.
Of course, thanks for having me.
I always ask this question because everyone's on the field. Weather-wise, it looks like that wind is really whipping. How much of a factor is it?
Right now, it's fine. It is whipping a little bit, but it's not bad. Everyone's playing in the same conditions, so it's just what we got to deal with.
I have to ask, if you're standing in the box and you're going up against Corrick, what pitch are you hunting?
Ooh, I think with George, 2-2. Hey, roll one up here. Yeah, George. Abby, me, you. I would say if I'm going up against George, I would hunt her outside just because she's really good at painting the inside corners. So me, I'm more comfortable hitting outside. So that's what I would be looking for. But
all right, Rachel Garcia, you know her obviously very well.
Yeah.
Not only you guys grew up in California, but also she played with you at UCLA.
Yeah.
Garcia has been so great for so many years. What's the most amazing thing you ever seen her do?
Oh, there's so many. Let me think about that real quick. Yeah! See you, George. I love that spot.
I know, you're putting her on the spot there with something big, huh?
I think one thing comes to mind I think it was regionals her senior year. We were playing Fresno State. See you, George. We were playing Fresno State, and I think we were down by 1 run. And I think we were down to our last out or something. And she came up and hit the game-tying run in. So she's just clutch. She is literally like the most clutch person to maybe even come out of UCLA. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm glad to be on the same field as her. Hopefully next week we'll be on the same team here. But yeah, so awesome to. Yes, George. That's huge.
Dirty.
So good. Yes, Abby, me, you, buddy. So good, George.
Hey, Delaney, I know there's a lot of kids always around AU softball, and your number 97 that you wear dates back to when you were a kid, am I right?
Wait, say that again?
The number 97 that you wear.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell the story about why you wear it?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, I was a bat girl for my older sister Stevie's all-star team, and there were 3 bat girls. It started at 99, 98, and then they gave me 97. So I've just kept it ever since because I kind of knew that nobody else would have it. So I was like, I'll just stick with it. Hey, I got you if it takes you this way. A lot this way, so yeah, I got you. Yeah, George, me, you, buddy. Here you go. Working hard here, 4. Yes. So good. Keep going. We got 1. Yes, Vic. Here you go.
We're going to listen in for a minute here just with the action on the base pass, okay?
Got you. Yes! Good look, George. Here you go. Yeah, 4. Sister, got you if it takes you this way. Abby, takes me that way. Yes, George. Good. Ooh. I love that spot.
That's not by much.
Keep working hard. Yes, 4. Yeah, 1. Yeah, Vic.
We got the microphone on the right
Yeah,
person.
sister.
She is into it.
I think it's so cool for little softballers that are tuning in.
Hammered off the wall! 1 run will score. It's a double for Taylor Edwards. And the beat continues for Team Romero. Second hit of the ball game for Taylor Edwards. That was probably 3 feet away from being a homer.
mean, she tomahawks this. This is 81 miles per hour off the bat. 235 feet. It's a game of inches, so close to getting out of here, but unleashes on that to the left side.
So Taylor Edwards has come to the plate twice. Line drive single to the gap in left center in the second inning, and now a line drive off the wall in left here in the third. She'll be replaced by a pinch runner. That's going to be Rachel Becker coming on to run. So Becker's at second. Jessie Warren's in front of her at third. Lily Piper spins away from that first pitch from Cora.
Lily Piper had a home run Wednesday in North Carolina.
Here you go. Yeah, Vic. Yes! Love that!
Danielle, I spent all my time talking about other players and why they wear their numbers. I actually saw someone in the stands here today wearing your 15 that's retired at Washington. How did you pick 15?
That's because 13 was taken.
Bouncing ball, that'll score a run. Jessie Warren makes it down that third base line. Abby Ramirez throws out Piper. It's a productive out for Piper. 2 down, but another run scores. It's a 5-2 lead for Team Romero.
Yeah, when I went into Washington, Caitlin Noble had number 13, and that had always been my number that I wore.
Is 13 not considered to be unlucky up in Canada?
And I was lucky. My brother was 13, I was 13. But I remember saying to Coach Tar, hey, this wasn't part of the deal here. If I signed, I thought I was getting 13. But she was pretty funny. She's like, hey, what about 15? No one's ever done anything in number 15, and that's how it worked. Literally freshman year of college.
Huh.
Yeah.
Almost a similar story. The reason why Jessie Warren, who just scored, is wearing 30 today, not 15, is because of Del Curry. The father of Steph Curry wore 15, tried to wear it in college. 15 was already taken, so he picked 30. Of course, his son Steph Curry wears 30 in honor of his dad, and now 30 is like the most popular number in the NBA, and that's why Jessie Warren wears it. But it's the whole concept of what people want, and sometimes they just can't get it. And there's that jersey we're talking about, Danielle, number 15.
Marcus doesn't miss a game.
Here you go.
He's incredible. He's so much fun to like. I always make sure, and Tom is sitting beside him, I always say hello to those gentlemen.
Look at Sis Bates! Can she? Yes! Sis Bates with another highlight reel play from shortstop.
Good job, Corey.
Like a panther with that quickness. Sides retired, but 2 more runs score for Team Romero.
Nobody plays defense like Sis Bates, laying it all out on the line, uses a turf to her advantage. So good, Sis Bates.
Everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Welcome back, everyone. There's your score, 5-2. Team Romero on top of Team Ferramo. 2 runs scoring in the top of this third for Team Romero. That last out at first was challenged. It was the captain's challenge. And Sierra Romero thinking that maybe her sister Sydney had beaten the throw over to first base. The captain's challenge was denied. And the inning is over, so Team Romero has to satisfied with the 2 runs scored.
Definitely close, but not Close enough.
Well, everyone loves to rep Athletes Unlimited, and you can too. Be sure to check out all the new AU softball merch for the season, including personalized player tees. Go to shop.auprosports.com to get yours today. So another chance to win an inning for Team Romero, but they need to get 3 outs. They lead this inning 2-0. Double by Taylor Edwards and a run-scoring RBI ground out by Lily Piper. We're expecting to see Tori Vidalis, Delaney Wiz, and Abby Ramirez batting here in the 3rd against Rachel Garcia. But before we get our inning started, let's check in with Savannah.
A little bit of buy-in going on in the blue dugout today for Romo's Loco Rodeo. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins brought enough cowgirl hats to outfit most of her teammates, so they're buying in with some cowgirl hats today. You can see some cowgirl face paint. It's just another one of those things that these teams do, especially coming off a loss, to try and bring some energy, bring some good juju to this team. So when they hit home runs or when you see them on offense, keep an eye out for the giddy up and everybody in a hat. I've got mine on. Just don't tell Gold dugout when I switch sides.
Thank you, Savannah. Giddy up. TV Tori Vidalis drove in a pair back in the 1st inning with a single. Mentioned that she went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts on Wednesday in Greenville, which probably is the worst game she's ever had as a pro. You never write 0 for 4 next to Tori Vidalis. Consistently some of the best at-bats in the pro game.
Such a good pitch. You just look at the body movement on that last pitch of Tori Vidalis. Almost felt like it was going to hit her, and she backed off, and that backdoor curveball broke back in for a strike, and that's what makes that pitch so tough for Rachel Garcia.
Two balls and 2 strikes.
And you can tell Garcia's been working on things. That's an off-speed curve on the outer half. We know she has that electric movement with the curveball at 70 if she wants to.
Little nubber. That's a foul ball. Oh, I apologize. Home plate umpire says it was fair. Didn't touch her. He was waving his arms as if to say, I thought stop, hold up. He was waving his arms to say it didn't hit her. So it's going to be out number 1.
She stays out of the way of the ball.
So it's a little bit confusing to me, but not to anyone on the field. Good job by Charles Blackwell, home plate umpire, to let everyone know that was a live ball and that Vidalis needed to be thrown out. Here's Delaney Wiz. Where's number 97? She got back in her days as a bat girl.
She was a lot of fun to watch at UCLA, and you saw her head over to San Diego State where she was coaching with Victoria Hayward and Stacy Newman Denise. Got them to the Super Regionals last year against Utah. A lot of cool things happening for her in the coaching world. Now Victoria Hayward going to Washington to be an assistant coach. I'm not mad about that. Get to hang out with Vic.
Two and 2.
And something that I just absolutely dig about Garcia is that she has had to change it up a little bit, and it's okay. Meaning, when you're going into a league where year after year, majority of these women know you, they've had a good at-bats off you, a ton of ABs. How could I come in and be a little bit different next year? So this off-speed curve is a good addition to that.
Shallow center, backhanding the plate beautifully, the captain, Sierra Romero. That was super hard. 2 down.
It's that initial step, a lot of speed all the way. I love seeing this Sierra Romero. Let's not forget, she really had to go through a lot. Ended up tearing ACL, a couple different surgeries, a completely different road to recovery than I think she ever imagined. So to see her where she's at with this confidence back, she's the type of player like she was when she won National Player of the Year at Michigan. Like, she has that type of confidence right now, and it's really, really cool to see, because I felt like she was so vulnerable through her journey of being hurt and the road to recovery and the surgeries and the rehab and the behind the scenes that not a lot of people truly understand what these athletes have to go through. And so I was her biggest cheerleader when she was trying out for Team Mexico that Olympic year, just fell short. Her sister, Sydney Romero, competed for Mexico at the Olympics, but Sierra was just not ready yet, and it was just waiting for her time. And you saw her last year not have the best season, but I mean, completely different turnaround here for Sierra Romero.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Romero's college teammate, Abby Ramirez. They're a double play combination, played at Michigan. You could make the argument that no one in the world has played more games on this field than Abby Ramirez. Chicagoan, played high school games here, played travel ball games here. Played professionally here as a Chicago Bandit, and now for 4 seasons been playing AAU softball here on this field. She strikes out against Rachel Garcia. Garcia gets a 1-2-3 third inning, so it's another inning win for Team Romero. Second game of our doubleheader. It's a 5-2 lead for Team Romero as we play the 4th inning. This has been a super fun weekend, not just Athletes Unlimited softball, but Alliance Fastpitch here as well. Alliance Fastpitch and AU joining forces to establish the Stars of Tomorrow Games Fastpitch competition featuring 180 youth athletes in the graduating classes of 2024, 25, and 26. And joining us now is the CEO of Alliance Fastpitch. You may remember her as a Texas A&M Aggie doing work back about 15 years ago. Jamie Loprice. Hey, Jamie, I remember you as a player, and you're doing great things now as the CEO. Talk to us a little bit about Alliance Fastpitch.
I appreciate that, Eric, except I didn't realize it was that long ago, dating me a little bit. But no, it's so much fun. I obviously grew up playing softball and getting to still be a part of this. And this weekend has been absolutely amazing. This is like dream come true to be able to help bring our youth athletes to see these professional players, the best in our game. It's been a lot of fun this week.
Well, and I was going to ask, like, when did this dream start? Obviously, this is a 3-year league, but when did something kind of go off in your head to say, hey, this is what I want to do? And how did you get something like that started?
You know, it actually, Danielle, dates back to when I was playing, when I was in the NPF and just seeing the professional game. I've just been a fan of staying involved in the sport and seeing however I can help it. I'm fortunate now, 3 years ago, there was some conversations with heads of travel ball organizations that just wanted to actually work together and want to do something really special for our athletes. And that's my own personal mission and passion, is to really put the athlete first and make it a great experience. And so we combined a lot of people with the same passion, and here we are 3 years later with the Alliance Fastpitch.
Well, you're seeing a lot of Fastpitch players in the stands, somewhere in Marucci, somewhere in DeMarini, somewhere in Slugger. Talk to me just a little bit about kind of how that has gone down this weekend and exactly kind of the Alliance stuff and Athletes Unlimited partnering up here a little bit.
Yeah, it actually, 1 year ago, I was out here meeting with Athletes Unlimited and talking about some opportunities that we can do together. And it just so happened that we started launching these combines, which starts tomorrow. We host them at college campuses, and we needed an end game, and that end game is playing here. And so we've done our best to copy and emulate everything that Athletes Unlimited does, from the 60 players per age division, the 4 teams. We're even doing the point system, which is pretty cool. It's a new concept for youth softball. But we have live leaderboards too, and then our sponsors with the teams have been really, really helpful and made it special for these kids.
I know you and I talked earlier, but something that stood out to me was that Alliance Fastpitch Championship Series is very similar to the college game with how you guys replicate the postseason. Talk to me a little bit about that, where that idea came from, if it simply was like, hey, let's make it like where you want to be in the next couple years so they get that feel. How'd that come about?
I'm not kidding when I say that we have the best kids in the country that are playing with us. These are kids that are going Power 5. They're going, they're starring. In fact, Nyjah Kennedy, who just got Freshman of the Year, she played in our All-Star game and part of our AFCS. That's the level of kids that we have. And so what we want to do all the way around is help prepare them for that next level. And we thought putting them through the national championship grind and trying to beat a team twice and learning our Elite 8 literally is like the Women's College World Series. We played best 2 out of 3 championships. So I don't know, I guess it was kind of crazy that it never been done before, but very happy that we can help do that. And those girls talk about it once they get to Oklahoma City, that it helped them.
Morgan Zirkle getting greedy on her way to second, and she'll make it with a slide. So a base runner with 1 out for Team Romero. Hey, Jamie, I remember you as a player. Obviously, you were an elite player. You played with Amanda Scarborough, Megan Gibson at Texas A&M. You played pro ball. I want to talk about the level of talent. So you saw it when you were a player back in your day, and now you're seeing it as the CEO of Alliance Fastpitch. Similar, better, worse? Talent level of these 17 and 18-year-olds nowadays?
Well, I'm just really glad you didn't give my career strikeouts against Danielle Laurie, because they're probably pretty high. No. I would say that the game has definitely evolved. I'm impressed with. We've got 20-25s out here, so they just finished their sophomore year of high school, and this girl hit 12 home runs last night, Elsa Morrison, in our home run derby. It's unreal. And I think they make them a little bit bigger these days too. But just I think the game IQ, the game knowledge has continued to grow. I know I don't even know if I would have made the Stars of Tomorrow back in my day, but it's really fun to watch the evolution of our sport and to play a small part of that. But I'm really, for at the youth level, what I get to see with the travel ball kids, our game's in good hands.
And there's some big-time names helping you. I mean, Kat Osterman's in the mix. Natasha Watley's in the mix. Like, obviously, our relationships run true in this game. You and I have got to compete in this pro league and be around some of those names. But the important piece to the puzzle with having them in the mix and obviously what they can help instill in these athletes, but having your back and helping you, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Natasha was one of my first calls, because I actually remember being in the NPF and having all these side conversations and just people that are really passionate about the sport. And so just a few phone calls and working together. It's amazing when we all work together, right? And that's been the whole vision of the Alliance. Can we unite? Can we work together? When we put the kids at the forefront and in the middle of it, it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, we got Kat out here, Kat Osterman, a facilitator, and she's actually helping me. She knows this, so it's not a surprise, but she'll actually be the director of our Stars of Tomorrow games next year.
Hey, Jamie Low-Price, I remember you as a college player. I know you got your doctorate. You're now the CEO of Alliance Fastpitch. I look forward to watching what the future brings for you in the next 15 years. Clearly, you got the tiger by the tail. Thank you for talking to us.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and a special thank you to Athletes Unlimited as well.
Jamie Low-Price, great stuff. She can hit. I totally remember her. She
Yes,
can
she
play. Yeah, outfielder, right-handed swinger. All right, we've got 2 outs. Runner on at third base is Morgan Zirkle. She got there. They called that a single and an error, so 10 points for Zirkle. This is Amanda Lorenz. Breaking ball misses a little bit inside. The general thinking is with the umpires here and Athletes Unlimited, if Amanda takes it, it's got to be a ball. She's got a great eye.
Yeah, see, I beg to differ on that last one. I think that should have been a strike.
Well, she gets the benefit of the doubt.
So.
She's Amanda Lorenz. uncharacteristic swing at a pitch out of the zone there for Amanda. That's actually what doomed her at bat back in the first inning. Remember, she struck out at a pitch that was helmet high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cork trying to get out of the inning unscathed.
Good spot.
Lorenz had a single in the 3rd inning, now leads the league in hits, and she's robbed! Oh, TV Tori Vidalis! Look what I found! Lorenz, you can't hit it any harder. Absolutely smoked, but right into the glove of TV Tori Vidalis.
Maybe this is all the momentum that Team Framo needs. Georgina Korek, Amanda Lorenz not stoked about it, but what a play, Tori Vidalis.
Rounds third, the throw home, got her! Enough for Hens to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
You want to be like the greats? First, believe you are. Greatness requires drip, not like that, like this. The greats aren't afraid to fail. They're fueled by it. Trophies require greatness, but greatness doesn't require trophies. Because greatness isn't about what you've done, it's about what you do next.
We are halfway home here in today's 2nd game of our doubleheader. It's a 5-2 lead for Team Romero. They scored 3 times in the 2nd to win the 2nd, 2 times in the 3rd to win the 3rd. And now we've got an inning win on the line as we play the bottom of the 4th. Join the Unlimited Club as a UC Gold member, and you'll receive a softball gold box. The box includes an exclusive jersey, a Cat Osterman bobblehead, and more. Limited quantities are available, so go for the gold today at auprosports.com/membership. Rachel Garcia began the day 12th on the leaderboard. Didn't start the game as the pitcher. It was Shannon Sale. But now this is the 3rd inning of work for Garcia out of the pen. She faces Caroline Jacobson, Sis Bates, and then Victoria Hayward. If you missed any of it in the first game of our doubleheader, really the dream season for Odyssey Alexander continuing. She was magnificent, 5 shutout innings. She's the captain, made the decision to take herself out of the game. And then 2 shutout innings by Kat Sandercock to complete the shutout. They won 4-0. Obviously, you shut someone out, you win every single inning. So it was a massive day for everyone on Team Alexander. Just in inning points and a game win, it's a plus 120 for everyone on the roster and nothing for everyone on Team Davidson. And with that point total and still 1 day remaining, you got to imagine Odyssey Alexander has secured herself a spot in one of the captain seats for week 4, which is huge because she's a 2-way player. She can determine when she pitches. She can determine whether or not she bats. First couple of weeks when she wasn't a captain, no one ever put her in the lineup to even pinch hit. So getting a chance to call her own number and start with a bat in her hands, it paid off today. She's got an RBI single.
When you go back to look at catchers that have been in shutouts, Gwen Svekis stands out to me with 8, which is just above and beyond anyone else. 8 shutouts that she's caught behind the dish. Mulipola, 2. Jordan Roberts, 2. Taylor Edwards, 1. Palacios, 1. Piancastelli, 1. Jaquish, 1. So it just goes to show, like, and obviously they had that history with Gwen Svekis and Kat Osterman in 2020 where you knew no matter what, Kat was going to take Gwen. It was her first pick always. I think it's pretty special when you can go back and kind of look at those types of numbers. Doing shutouts is very hard to do in a league like this.
Jacobson walks to begin our 4th inning. Well, Odyssey Alexander with a bat in her hands.
And she goes and gets this pitch, this backdoor curveball. That's a great spot. It's not a bad spot by Taylor McQuillan. That's just an atta baby by Odyssey Alexander. And then she was just lights out. It comes down to location in the moment and spinning your pitches and trusting them. And to me, MVP 1 all day, 60 additional points that she is going to get on top of.
That's a fair ball, and it hits Bates in the back. It's live. Everyone's got to be safe. So that'll be a sacrifice for Sis Bates. That's a +10. The ball hit her in the back. That may be an error that allows the runner to go all the way to third. I don't know. But runners on at the corners with nobody out.
And she just kind of, this is a perfect placement. And when Jessie Warren, she's already kind of down, momentum taking her. And when she falls to a knee, she can't create that angle to Lily Piper to be able to get it on the line, and that hurts.
Would that ball have possibly spun back and out of play if Jessie had just not touched it?
Potentially.
Let's take one last look just to see what the spin was possibly going to take it.
And as soon as Jessie goes down on a knee, she can't get to the inside part of the field to get that throw on the money to Lily Piper. And she's one of the best defenders here, up there with Sis Bates, in my opinion. I mean, she's a cat at third base. She gets everything. Rachel Garcia, a little bit of a pickle here. Runners on the corners and no outs.
And now the top of the order, Victoria Hayward, who has the most hits in the history of Athletes Unlimited softball. Had a single in the first inning to make her mark up to 63 hits. There goes Bates, an easy 10 for Sis. Stolen base puts her into scoring position. Victoria Hayward, 2 more hits than Haley McClenny. Morgan Zirkle's got 2 hits today. So those are the only 3 players ever with 60 hits. All in our ball game. Two balls and a strike to Hayward. Infield in all the way around. If that runner scores from third, it's going to be an inning win for Team Ramo. Three-one pitch. All 4. So that is now 4 walks allowed by Rachel Garcia. Talk about walking a tightrope. The bases are loaded, nobody out for Kelsey Stewart Hunter. Garcia has faced 11 batters and walked 4 of them. Interesting to note, Garcia does not have a hit allowed. But she's been in trouble here in this 4th inning because of walks and a misplay defensively.
And that's the pitch that she needs to continue to zone in on. That backdoor curveball on the outer half. She keeps it low in the zone. It's about trying to get ahead of these hitters, being smart location-wise. I know she's having a tough time kind of trying to still figure out what that strike zone is and what she can get for a strike. But as soon as you get ahead as a pitcher, it just gives you this little bit extra sparkle out there in the circle, especially when you're 1-2, 0-2. It's like, all right, now I can expand the zone. Now I can try to get her to chase something way up in the zone a little bit. But it's when you start to fall behind, which we've seen Garcia do this inning, where she's just made it a little bit more challenging for herself.
2 national champions as collegians. Garcia at UCLA. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter at Florida. Oh my goodness, just disappears underneath the bat of Stewart-Hunter. 3rd strikeout for Garcia.
Let's just take a look at the sequencing from Garcia. Okay, right out of the gate, she's 1-0, but then she gets that back door, so we got a 1-1 count. She gets that big foul ball. Advantage Garcia, 1-2. Good take by Stewart-Hunter, but it's that off-speed pitch that just buckles the knees in the moment that you were not thinking as a hitter. That was so good.
Ball is, I thought it was actually tipped into the catcher's glove. It's going to be strike 1. 71 miles per hour. I haven't seen anything faster than that from Garcia. She knows she's got to tune it up here with Haley McClenny in the batter's box.
And I think you see a different Rachel Garcia when the changeup is on point, when she can throw that with consistency. Everything else seems that much better, and she looks different. So that pitch sequence to Stewart-Hunter, even though she falls behind, she gets back in it, and then she's able to pull the string on the change. And that gives you a little bit extra going into that next AB, facing that next hitter with a little bit of pressure. I mean, obviously they have a 5-2 lead, but bases loaded, none outs. You feel that type of heat, especially on this turf.
Ball and 2 strikes to McClenny. Garcia not making it easy on herself. Bases loaded, nobody out. With Stewart-Hunter, McClenny, and Mulipola. If anyone else needs to come up, it's going to be Tori Vidalis. Talk about a murderer's row with an inning win on the line.
Well, now's the time, too, where if I'm a hitter, Haley McClenny, at a 1-2 count, I'm looking for something off speed. Because I know that she just had that good plan of attack. And that's what makes these hitters stand out, is because they hunt pitches that you may not be thinking that they're hunting. So in a moment like this, if I'm Garcia, I'm not afraid to go upstairs, even if it's a 2-2 count. If I think Haley McClenny is hunting something away, I want to try to bring it up under her hands.
On the ground, out at second. That's the only out they're going to get. So a run scores. It's an inning win for Team Paramo. RBI ground out for McClenny.
This is such a good play by Sydney Romero. Going to her glove side, catches this hop. Best possible play that can happen. Obviously infield in. Love this little scoop. It's a big time play, sister to sister.
If it hadn't taken her off balance, I think she was thinking about possibly coming home, but there's just no way she could turn around and get an accurate throw in time to the plate. So McClenny does not have a base hit today, but she's had a productive afternoon. 10 points for a sacrifice, 8 points for a walk, and then winning an inning for her team with a ground out. By simply putting the bat on the ball, not striking out, it's a +10 for everyone on her team. Mulipola. McClenny, that's smart. Extra 10. Second base, stolen base of the inning for Team Paramo. We have seen so much of that this year. Heads-up base running, adding to people's point totals. Haley McClain doesn't have a hit. She's got 28 points. Popped up. Should be playable. Shortstop Romero makes the play, side retired. But a run scores, and it is a +10 for everyone on Team Ramo. Well, tomorrow, the final day. Athletes Unlimited lacrosse. It's going to wind down with a Care of Games, Team Glenn, Team Bosco. That's the first game, 1 Eastern, ESPN Plus. And then Team Apuzzo, Team Marino. Those are the two captains. Taylor Moreno first, but still catchable. You got Sam Apuzzo in second. That is the final day of yet another season of Athletes Unlimited lacrosse. Good stuff. We're right in the middle of everything here with week 3 action, year 4 of Athletes Unlimited softball. This is game 16 of what will be 30 in our season. And right now it is a 5-3 lead for Team Romero over Team Ramo. Danielle, is so different right now what we're experiencing here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex than the very first season ever of any sport with Athletes Unlimited softball.
You're telling me.
That was the fall of 2020 during the height of COVID. We were able to get a season in 5 weeks, didn't miss a game. We had a quasi-bubble here in Rosemont. No fans allowed. Now it's a full house. I'm told it's a sellout here on Saturday afternoon. People going crazy, promotions in between innings. Night and day. We're kind of close to each other. I physically could touch you if I wanted.
I know, we had this ginormous barrier in between us, this piece of glass. Yeah, there was a lot that went on that year. That was, but I think the coolest thing about all of it was this league still got to go on, and these women got to play and compete through a time when there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. The world was in trouble, right? And people could tune into these games and watch these women compete. And I think it really lifted a lot of people up that missed the college season being canceled. No Women's College World Series, no postseason. There was just so much that didn't happen, and AU came up at the perfect time.
And because of the success back in 2020, that spawned basketball and lacrosse. It's just been a fantastic thing, Athletes Unlimited. And it all started during a bubble season here in Rosemont in 2020. Here's Jesse Warren. Warren flips it down the right field line and foul.
I mean, I'll be bubbled with you anytime. We got through it.
We definitely got through it.
We got through it.
With a smile.
Yep. Lots of laughs. I think that's what kept me coming back. Hate to say it, but like if someone can make me laugh, I'm like, all right, we're having a great time. We're having a great time.
Jesse fouls that one away. Jessie's been productive today. She has scored twice. Singled and scored in the second. Was hit with a pitch and scored in the third. And a strikeout. Cork strikes out Warren. Believe it or not, that's the first strikeout for Georgina Cork.
It's a really good job by Georgina Cork, working that off speed, getting some really big swings by Jessie Warren, and then paints the outside corner with that curveball.
Captain Sierra Romero has gone to home plate umpire Charles Blackwell and said, we're going to make a change. Rachel Garcia is going to be lifted. Garcia, a really good runner, but maybe they're just thinking keeping her out of this hot sun because she's still the pitcher in ball game. It's going to be Alicia Ocasio coming on to run. Rachel Garcia won the AUX season. Alicia Ocasio won the 2021 championship season.
And I did say earlier that Rachel Garcia had won back-to-back AUX, but that was wrong of me. Danielle O'Toole.
Can't pick Tooley. Did that hit the bat or the hand? Taylor Edwards clearly saying it hit her hand, but I don't know. This may be challenged.
That definitely hit her hand.
Now the umpire's going to get together and see if they all agree.
I feel like she'll be able to just show them her hand. Like she's not moving it to the way that she is.
Ooh.
Tough to tell. Does it get the tip of the finger and then ricocheted?
You'd think you'd be able to hear if that was flesh or a bat. Two different sounds.
Can we get a zoom in on the hand?
We're gonna listen. Let's take a listen.
Oh, I heard it.
Sounded like a bone.
Yeah. Did not
All right, we
sound
believe
like
you, Taylor.
that.
We believe you, Taylor. All right, so she's aboard. Runners on at first and a second. That is a +8 for getting hit with a pitch for Taylor Edwards. Still super early, but Taylor Edwards in the mix for one of the MVPs. She is 2 for 2 with a single, a run batted in with the double, and now hit with a pitch. Lily Piper flips it foul.
It's a good hack by Lily Piper on that curveball. Georgina Cork, 73.2% of the time, that curveball is a strike. Out of all the pitches in her arsenal that she throws, that curveball is locked in for a strike majority of the time. So as a hitter, especially a right-handed hitter, when I'm stepping into the box, I'm knowing what pitches they're throwing at a high ratio for strikes, especially earlier on in the count, that I can hack at. I'm doing my homework on that piece.
That's all information that you want?
Well, big time. If I'm stepping into the box and I'm going up against Cork, okay, I know she throws an off speed. I know she throws on the hands. She can go upstairs and she has a curve. So what pitch does she normally tend to throw for a strike more than anything else? And it's that curveball. So I'm going up with that plan of attack, especially early on in the count. And if my plan's away, I don't want to swing on the in unless I have to. But it just depends. Every hitter is completely different with plate coverage and how comfortable they are. But I would be stepping up there trying to hit something on the outer half and just punch it to right field.
Okay, this is a big at-bat for Sydney Romero. We've got 2 outs, runners at first and a second. She's already got a 3-run home run. She's going to be in consideration for one of the MVPs because of that huge home run back in the second inning. But if she can do some damage here, extra base hit, drive in another run, I think people would remember that, and she'd add to the possibility of her getting MVP points when this is all said and done. Those are huge. 60 points for MVP 1, 40 points for MVP 2, 20 points for MVP 3. On the ground, Vidalis wins the race to the bag side, is retired. So Georgina Cork throws up another 0. We have played 4.5. When we come back, Team Faremo looking for an inning win.
cowboy hat.
You did that perfectly. They totally did it.
Jesse, we looked it up on the internet and was like, sorry. Move them feet, girl. I got your back, big dog. Make it dance. I need to get back to that. Like, on pitches that I'm not comfortable with, like, get to barrel and just hit it up the middle and, like, not try to do too much. I'm a slapper. I'm a slapper. I be slapping. I be slapping.
She's low-key funny.
Yeah, it was Lily Piper back in the third inning when she had the bases loaded. She put the bat on the ball and scored a run.
She's low-key slapper.
Yeah. Lily Piper's been around for all 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited softball. She made the team just on a cold tryout. And she's never left.
I know. And she rode the bench there for a bit and would just be a typical random pinch hit every now and again. And every single time she would just surprise everyone and be consistent. And then all of a sudden worked herself into that everyday lineup, and you couldn't deny her a spot because she had been so good when her name was called.
Yeah, I remember back in year 1, 2020, it was Kat Osterman who took her deep into a lot of drafts and then would put her in. Kat was the captain. And late in the game, she'd say, give Piper in a bat. And Piper would hit a double off the wall. And all of a sudden, that gave her some street cred.
Yeah.
You know, Kat liked her, and she performed for Kat.
Well, and you can't, it doesn't go without saying that, like, she's a hoot. Like, she's dancing, she's laughing, she's light, she keeps the game fun. And I think that in a stressful type, at times, environment, when you're fighting on that leaderboard for spots, you need someone that can calm you down or that can make you laugh.
And she's a daredevil right now, trying to play first base, looking into that sun. Late afternoon here at Parkway Bank Sports Complex is no joke when you're on the right side defensively. I'm looking at the second baseman. Sierra Romero's got sunglasses on. The right fielder, Shannon Rhodes, was covering her eyes with her visor on. And Lily Piper is just devil may care. Love it. Every field you go to, any field that's worth its salt, the right fielder is always looking into the sun. And that's by design. Ballparks are supposed to have a northwest orientation. I bet you didn't know that. Every ballpark is home plate to center field should be facing northwest. And how about this? The term southpaw got its start by, if you're a left-handed pitcher, your left hand should be facing due south. That's where the term southpaw comes from. Because of the orientation of every baseball and softball field that's orientated properly. Did you write that down?
No, but I did think about it for a second. Like when Jamie was in here and we were talking Alliance and I'm writing down all these nuggets, I did think about it. But good thing you and I are friends, so if I ever need to, you know, reach out.
I'm with you.
But the fun facts never stop coming from you, Eric. It's like my favorite thing about you.
Vidalis strikes out for Garcia. That is now 4 strikeouts. Now here's your fantasy pick'em update. This week's leaderboard champion was Team Softball is Awesome. Of all participants, however, no teams were able to predict the top 4. Will you be the first to do so? Make your picks today. auprosports.com/fantasy. Here's Delaney Wiz. Walked in the first, was robbed. Beautiful play by Sierra Romero at second base into the third. Hey, DJ Sanders is still with us.
Yes, how are you
DJ, our
guys?
star in the stands. How you been last, I don't know,
So
45
good.
minutes?
Very, very good.
You're in the shade. Looks like some people
Yes.
are sun-splashed and you're in the shade.
We got lucky.
DJ, is there a young lady sitting next to you somewhere in that crowd named Lainey?
Yes, this is Lainey.
Lainey, Danielle O'Toole. Danielle O'Toole was texting me about Lainey, saying that she used to give her lessons.
She said she used to give you lessons, Thule. Yeah, she texted me and told her tell her hello.
That's amazing.
Do you have a message for Thule?
I love you and I miss you so much.
Well, we missed Thule too. She was Heck of a lot of fun to watch your first 3 years with Athletes Unlimited. Hey, DJ, what's life like for you when you're not on the field these days? Who are you rooming with this season?
Oh, my roommate's the same. It's Alyssa Denham.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. Oh, that's nice.
That's a base hit off of Jesse Warren's glove. Look at Abby Ramirez! Sliding into second. One of the local favorites, Abby Ramirez, first hit of the year. Tell the story, DJ. Maybe people didn't hear it from years past. You and Alyssa Denham go back like a lawn chair. Where did you guys first meet and hang out?
Louisiana Lafayette. So she was a freshman there my junior year. So we played together for that 1 year and just got really close over the years. And obviously being at AU where we're with each other nonstop, we've gotten really, really close.
Last year when Denham was making a pretty big push to try to be the top dog, did she ever talk to you in the moment about it feeling any type of pressure or anything when it came to that?
Not too much pressure. I think for her, she's so used to being like a selfless player. So she was kind of battling, you know, how do I make sure I get enough points? But then also, you know, I'm still a team player and make sure everybody else is taken care of. So that was kind of her internal struggle.
And DJ, both you and Alyssa over the years have been captains at different spots. Clearly you like being a captain because you're one of the top 4 players on the leaderboard, but it's a ton of stress. Is it an enjoyable experience?
It can be. I mean, I think I was very, very stressed out. But I think it helps. I mean, obviously the facilitators are amazing. So I think it's good to, like, you know, be in control of, you know, what you're doing. But whenever you can kind of like give it to them and let them take a little bit off your plate and just play the game, that's probably when you're at your best.
Well, DJ, say goodbye to your newly found friends and thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you so much.
DJ Sanders. It's always good to have a DJ holding a microphone, right? Makes sense?
It does make sense. Funny guy. Funny guy.
Runner on at second base, 2 outs, Caroline Jacobson. Unofficial stat. She may lead all of Athletes Unlimited in pitches seen this year. She is just a foul ball waiting to happen. She had 3 plate appearances last weekend in 1 game. Saw 25 pitches in the game in 3 plate appearances. This is the 20th pitch she's seen today. And she clubs it down the left field line. Foul! Wow, Amanda Lorenz giving it up. It's foul though, and the inning continues.
Amanda Lorenz. So good, so close. Just not able to scoop it up.
Inning win on the line. If Abby Ramirez scores, it's going to be a +10 for everyone on Team Paremo. Liner. That one just past Jesse Warren. It's been a frustrating inning for Warren. Had the smash by Ramirez go off her glove for a double. And that one about 2 inches away from being out number 3. Garcia strikes out Jacobson and leaves Ramirez in scoring position. So strikeout number 5 for Garcia. It's a scoreless 5th.
I got to go back to Sid Romero earlier on in this game. 75-mile-an-hour exit velo on this 241-foot shot dead center. This was clutch for Team Romero. Gave them the go-ahead run in this ball game, and they have not looked back since.
It is a 5-3 lead, Team Romero. Team Romero won the second and the third. Team Faremo won the first and the fourth. No one won the fifth, so this is going to be a 20-point inning for whichever side can outscore the other. And the captain for Team Faremo, Megan Faremo, will come on to pitch.
One of my favorite pitchers to watch in the college game, and now turning it over to just how she's been able to compete in AU. One of my favorites to watch in the professional ranks. Last weekend, joining Kat Osterman in throwing a no-hitter, the second only, which goes to show how hard that is to do. Spotting corners, using the off speed. To me, it's the energy piece. She fires me up like no other, and that's what it's all about. What I dig about pitchers is that not all of them have to be the same. There's such a fun energy that each and every one brings, and to me, she brings the fire, and that's what it's all about. Second no-hitter in AU history. Last one thrown was by Kat Osterman in 2021, so a little bit of a drought. Pretty incredible.
And she needed to be perfect because it was a 1-0 game. It was a tightrope walk the entire afternoon.
Well, when you're throwing in those types of games, whether or not it's 1-0 or 4-0, you're just cruising. So sometimes you're not even aware of that. Like, hey, if I give up a solo shot, we're right back in this ball game. It's tied, but sometimes when those no-hitters, perfect games are thrown, your head isn't even in that space. It's just so locked in with what you're throwing and hitting good spots.
Ball and 1 strike to Shannon Rhodes. Rhodes hadn't gotten the ball out of the infield. She has popped to first and popped to third. 20 points on the line for whichever side can win this inning.
Like that cowboy hat.
Faremo, the third pitcher of the afternoon. Brooke Yanez through the first 2 innings. Georgina Cork coming in, and now Faremo pitching the 6th. Oof. Beautiful off-speed pitch.
Especially at a 3-1 count.
Rhodes could have swung twice at that before the ball came to the plate. Another off-speed pitch, and this time able to at least put the ball in somewhere on the playing surface. 3-2. Faremo strikes out Rhodes. 1 down.
So good. Curveball, outer half, a little bit of upspin. That's a pitch that as a hitter, you're not touching that. You have to be able to see that it's far enough off that you can't do anything with it. But that's what makes Megan Faremo so tough. I mean, back-to-back changeups to Shannon Rhodes. 1 for a strike, 1 for foul ball. And then all of a sudden now she's in your dome. Where is she going to go? Is she going to go back-to-back-to-back? That's when she sneaks the curve in.
Live leaderboard look. Faremo currently 4th. Tomorrow is going to be so important for her as she tries to stay in the top 4 and remain a captain. Pitchers being captains, so important. You can control your outings, how many innings you throw. Morgan Zirkle is the batter. Already a Team Romero right now, this is the magic number that they're at. They've already scored more than 4 runs. That's been the number so far this season. If you have scored 14 runs in 14 of the 15 games played this year, you've won the game. The only time 4 runs was not enough to win a game was game 10 last weekend, a 13-4 win for Team Zirkle. But just earlier this week in Greenville, 4-3 wins First and second game of the doubleheader. Earlier today, a 4-0 win for Team Alexander over Team Davidson. Zirkle gets herself a base hit. That's the 3rd hit of her ball game, and she continues to skyrocket up the all-time leaderboard on the hits chart. 2 games tomorrow. The first one's going to be on ESPN 2, 4:30 Eastern Time, Team Alexander, Team Romero. And then our nightcap, final game of week 3, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPNU, Team Davidson and Team Ferramo. Let's see if Zirkle runs. Zirkle on her season, just 1 stolen base. I wonder, does Sierra Romero as a captain, does she have the capability of telling Zirkle not to run?
Hey, don't run. I don't know what she would do right now when she's standing in the box.
As a hitter, do you ever get distracted by the runner on first base? Stealing, running?
No.
No? Okay.
Love that you still ask questions about the game, though.
Two balls and 2 strikes for Ferramo to Romero. 2 captains.
And as a hitter, this is when I'm thinking 2 things. That curveball that we've seen her throw away from the righties and that off speed. Being able to attack the outer half, but have a good eye. It's back-to-back pitches in on the hands. So me as a hitter is thinking, all right, I don't think she's going to come back in on me again. We've got 2 foul balls going on that 7th pitch of this at-bat. I'm thinking she's going to spread the zone with that curveball and try to get me to chase something away. Not sure what that was, but something on the inner half.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Zirkle the runner on at first. Off-speed pitch pops her up. Sis Bates, 2 down.
Number 23, Amanda.
So the last hope for Team Romero here in the 6th inning with 20 points on the line is Amanda Lorenz. Lorenz hit a bullet last time up. Caught by the first baseman, Vidalis. Ooh, Vidalis is looking right into the sun. Similar hit ball right now, and I fear for the health of Vidalis. Called strike 1. Playing the sun field. And the outfield is deep all the way around. Every single one of the outfielders is almost on the warning track. Look at the right fielder, Jacobson. Got paint chips on her back.
Kind of want to play no doubles too with a runner on first base. You don't want anything to get by you, especially with 2 outs. Good chance with Zirkle's speed, she's gonna get home. So you want to play back too with that in mind.
You don't see Amanda Lorenz with an awkward swing. Usually she's fully committed. There goes Zirkle. She'll have to go back to first. Team Romero with a 5-3 lead, but they've been sitting on their laurels for a bit. They haven't scored since the 3rd inning. Zirkle hesitated.
Really good job by Deja Mulipola, too, behind the plate to block that, keep it in front. So, so good.
Laced into left field. Look at how deep Hayward was. Because she's staying so deep, that allows Zirkle to go to third, and it allows Lorenz to take an extra base behind her. So that'll be a single with Lorenz taking second on the throw.
Really good job by Amanda Lorenz. Pitches up in the zone. Just punches it opposite field. And like you said, with those outies playing back in the no doubles situation, allows for Zirkle to make her way to 3 and Amanda Lorenz to get in there to 2 with a couple, I think, in my opinion, big time insurance runs for Team Romero on second and third.
So for Ramo, the captain, having a word with not only your catcher Mulipola, but the entire infield. There's 2 outs, runners at second and third. There's a base open at first. After Garcia, Jesse Warren will be the batter. A couple of All-Americans from UCLA. Back-to-back strikes.
You could tell Rachel Garcia a little crossed up, potentially thinking something again on the inner half. Takes that curveball. Quick 0-2 by Megan Framo. Now's the time. You have to toy with the hitter. Spread the zone. I even think that's too close at an 0-2 scenario here with a hitter like Garcia. She's in that 4 spot for a reason. She can cover a good chunk of that plate. I'm not opposed to throwing an off-speed pitch where I almost kind of bounce it in that other batter's box or spin that curveball and get it way out, or if I'm going back in, I'm going with that rise way up and in. Saw Rachel Garcia on Wednesday go yard on a pitch on the inner half. Hands are so quick through the zone, anything in.
Popped up, Vidalis, side retired. For Ramo, it got into trouble, but she strands runners at second and third. No damage done.
A lot of times as girls and as women, we're taught to be humble. But there's a point when that confidence, you need to turn it up.
You wake up, you open your eyes, it is game day.
I did not want to be late.
Racing to the field and getting those butterflies. The sounds, the smells.
We thought we were so tough, putting on eye black.
Acting like you're a stud, even though you're 10 years old.
That one swing that just feels so good.
You're figuring out who you are, and you're doing it together.
Everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
I was a little lad when I wanted to go to Washington. Then I ended up going there, playing there, and was a student assistant there. And I literally could not have asked for a better experience.
Washington is everything. I think I played for a strong, fearless leader who, you know, was a huge advocate for women's sports.
Coaching at Washington is a dream I honestly never really had when I was there, but just the impact that program had on me, that Coach Tar has had on me, is why I'm here. It's why I'm still playing. It's why I'm in coaching, and it's like a really full circle moment for me that I'm really proud of.
Hey, wow. Look at that. 3 Washington Huskies playing here in 2023. And Danielle, of course, you were part of that national championship team, the only one that Washington has ever won in softball. Significant program in Division I softball.
Well, and you have to think, too, you're adding Sis Bates to be on the coaching staff as well. Now that they've been able to add that 4th assistant, I think that's huge. So having, you know, Coach Tar, Lance Glasso, Victoria Hayward, Courtney Gano, Sis Bates, like, you have a lot of rich history there. And I think that's the coolest thing to me is when you're seeing a lot of these different alums go back to their alma maters because they know the culture, they know how things are ran. And, you know, Coach Tar, I think every other year asks me, hey, you want to come and be a coach? And I'm like, it is a grind. You know, you're gone a lot in the summer and you're recruiting, and I got little kids. So I said, hey, I'll never count it out. Maybe if I'm a little bit older, but right now mom has got to be with her babes. But it does not mean that, like, I am there any chance I can, whether I'm meeting the freshmen, whether I'm talking shop with some of the young pitchers. Now a lot more, getting to hang out with Vic and Sis and Gano. Pretty cool.
Well, we got Huskies back and back-to-back here. Sis Bates will be followed by Victoria Hayward. This is an important half inning. Team for Ramo, they're losing the game 5-3, but if they can just score 1 run right here, it will be a plus 20 for everyone on their roster, and they would have won the 1st, the 4th, and then because of the rollover, the 5th and the 6th inning. Just 1 run, that's all it takes. Saw Sis Bates' dad here in the building earlier today. Legendary stories. I remember Sis talking in years past about long car rides to practices and back, her and her dad.
Long car rides.
Committed car rides.
And I feel like now that my daughter is in this whole travel ball thing, I'm like, hey, you know, you're 9. I'm not driving 7 hours on a weekend, so you can go practice. The game has changed in that sense. We're like, that's almost the new norm at times. And I'm over here like, I don't think that's the new norm just yet when you're 9 or 10.
Did she beat it out? She did! Infield single for Bates. Sydney Romero did everything she could, but Bates beats it out.
Finds a way, gets in there. A lot of speed, puts that extra pressure on the defense for sure, but love how hard she's running up the line. Base hit in the books, 10 points in the books.
For someone who's not the tallest player in AU, she's got one of the longest strides.
Yep.
This really covers a lot of ground. All right, so you got good speed on it first. Do you send her? She's already stolen 1 base today. Hayward plays it first. The captain, Sierra Romero, covers. A sacrifice means plus 10 for Victoria Hayward. No one understands the points and situations better than Victoria. And you got a runner on second with 1 down. Get yourself into the game by joining the Unlimited Club. Vote on game MVPs, enjoy exclusive events, contribute 10% to the player bonus pool, and more for just $10 a year. Sign up now at auprosports.com/membership. RBI opportunity for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. Lifted in the air, playable. Zirkle, there goes Bates. And she'll move over to third base, but there's now 2 down. So now 2 bases open. Rachel Garcia can decide who she really wants to go after, and good luck with any of them. Haley McClenny, followed by Deja Mulipola and Tori Vidalis. McClenny doesn't have a hit in the 2 games she's played so far this week. But she's found a way to pick a point, to sacrifice bunt in the first inning, a walk in the second, and drove in a run with a ground out in the 4th inning, and then stole second base. So all 3 plate appearances have resulted in points scored for McClenny without a base hit. Two and two. For Rachel Garcia, this is now her 5th inning of work. Came on in relief of Shannon Sale in the 2nd inning.
And a good chunk of pitches thrown. Going on her 110th pitch of the game. For only throwing 5 innings thus far, that's a lot of pitches thrown by Rachel.
She currently leads everyone in our game with points scored. She's got plus 76 so far today. 2 balls and 2 strikes to McClenny. Well, in the game right now, got Rachel Garcia plus 76, Morgan Circle plus 60, along with Sydney Romero, who hit that 3-run home run. Sis Bates, a little stealth, how about that? Plus 50 for her. Chased. Rachel Garcia now with 6 strikeouts and another shutout inning thrown. So the 7th and final inning will have 30 points on the line. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by the Air National Guard and by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Road games. First time in Athletes Unlimited Softball history. That was back on Wednesday. 2 games played in Greenville, North Carolina. We've made it to the 7th inning, 2nd and final game of our doubleheader today here in Rosemont, Illinois. Team Romero, they scored 5 times in the first 3 innings. Haven't scored since, trying to hang on. They lead 5-3. This 7th inning, because the 5th and the 6th inning both rolled over, is now worth 30 points. Let's take a look at the leaderboard that is constantly changing in all of the Athletes Unlimited sports. Currently atop the leaderboard is Odyssey Alexander. She has got a 200-point working margin over Bubba Nichols, Mia Davidson, Ramo, and Romero. The only non-captain in that mix, Bubba Nichols. Nichols is playing on Team Alexander this week. And everyone on Team Alexander is feasting right now. They are 2-0 so far this weekend. Megan Faremo faces Jessie Warren. All right, so this is a 30-point inning. If neither team scores here in the 7th inning, the 30 points for the inning wins, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, will go to Team Romero. This is a gapper. Jessie Warren gets it to the wall. Jessie on her way to second. She's there standing. Starting to turn her season around. That's the second base hit of the ball game for Warren.
This is an off-speed pitch that Warren is not fooled by. Hits it to that right center gap. Just hits different when you see it in real time. A lot
Team
of
Romero
pop
has
off
had
of
at least
that.
one hit in every single inning.
Yeah.
They've got 12 hits here in the 7th inning. It's amazing they only have 5 runs scored. They've had consistent traffic. Oh my goodness, you never see Taylor Edwards thinking about bunt.
Hey, sack bunt, +10. Base hit, +10. Sometimes I'm gonna rally and I'm gonna get that sack bunt down.
All right, this is what the media guide is for. Does she have a sacrifice in her? Well, she's, oh my goodness, 3 of them.
I could have told you that.
Ball and 2 strikes. Let's check in with Savannah.
Love what you and Danielle were just talking about with Team Romero. Edwards showing a bunt. We're talking about how that they put up a hit in every single inning, and this really goes back to the philosophy that Sierra Romero has for this team. She says no one has to do it all. That goes for the pitchers as well. She wanted Rachel knowing coming into this series that, hey, you do not have to throw the entire games. The whole win does not rely on you. Same with the hitters. Hey, if you can't get a hit in this inning, someone right behind you is going to pick you up. She wanted to take the pressure off of her offense and her defense, that it could be anybody's moment, just like it looked like it was going to be Taylor Edwards right there. But that's what Sierra Romero wanted to do with this team. Don't look at the numbers. Don't feel like you have to have the moment to win the innings and win the games. Let us do it as a group.
Thank you, Savannah. Man, Taylor Edwards is hoping to just advance Jessie Warren, not able to do so. So an unproductive out. That's the first out of the 7th inning. Lily Piper is next.
Not a bad record as a captain
Nope, not at
so
all.
far, huh?
Lily Piper out in front. Lily Piper and Shannon Rhodes are the only 2 starters for Team Romero that don't have a base hit. And it's not for lack of effort. Piper and Rhodes have put the ball in play all 3 at bats, but have nothing to show for it. Liner, caught by Bates. She's everywhere. Oh, and Warren's out at second. She got caught in some Velcro. Couldn't make it back to the bag, and the inning is over. How about that for a double play?
Sis Bates, yet again. So good. Always thinking next play, but
oh goodness.
Velcro all day. Jessie Warren caught up. Man, Sis Bates, there's no one like her in the game, you guys. She is exceptional at shortstop.
Rounds third, the throw home. Got her! Enough for Hens to be there.
That's right. We are fans too.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
You want to be like the greats? First, believe you are. Greatness requires drip, not like that, like this. The greats aren't afraid to fail. They're fueled by it. Trophies require greatness, but greatness doesn't require trophies. Because greatness isn't about what you've done. It's about what you do next.
Sis Bates doing her magic once again. She thinks everything is possible when she's got a glove on her hand, turning a double play.
And she just makes it look so effortless, right? Like, always thinking the next play when she makes the play. And that, to me, is what makes Sis Bates so special and unique. She catches it, and it's like, all right, hey, I can get the double play. Catches Jessie Warren off the base and just gets a little bit caught up. Almost like she looks stuck. But the excitement, Delaney Wiz, everyone, Vic Hayward.
All right, comes down to this. Because of the defensive play by Sis Bates, we still have a 2-run game. It is 5-3. Team Romero trying to hang on like a cat on a screen door. They haven't scored since the 3rd inning, but they lead 5-3. Deja Mulipola, Tori Vidalis, Delaney Wiz will bat. Now, it is possible for Team Remo to lose this game and still have a great half inning. If they score just 1 run, it will be a +30 for everyone on Team Remo because they will have won the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th inning that have all rolled over. Now they need 2 to tie the game and keep it alive and 3 to win the game. But just small steps, winning the inning, scoring 1 run would mean a ton for everyone.
Well, it's trying to carry over that momentum, too, of that big-time play by Sis Bates. Sometimes those are just the littlest things that you need to ignite something in the bottom half of the inning.
Deja Mulipola, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 run for Team Remo gives them 30 points. 3 runs for Team Remo give them 80 points. Ball and 2 strikes. 115th pitch for Rachel Garcia. Oh, a little bit high. And Garcia just doubled over at the waist. She has no trouble showing emotion. Laced. Oh, it's a fair ball. Extra bases, Mulipola. Second base is where she'll stop with a double.
Really good job by Mulipola. Curve, outside part of the plate, down in the zone. Sees it deep, just stays fair. Game of inches. Legs out a double. A lot in the line here for Team Remo. And this is a gold team to me that's 1-6 in gold since week 1. Regardless of who the captain is, gold has been 1-6, which when I think of the gold team, I think of Kat Osterman in 2020 and how it's always the #1 player on the leaderboard that gets to wear that gold jersey. And to me, in season 4 here, it's just been a little bit maybe different.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Wearing that gold assures you of nothing. Popped up. Will it stay in play? It will. Warren makes the catch. That is a huge out #1. Delaney Wiz wearing a microphone. This is our into the game.
Good job, Meg. Got it, girl. Yeah.
I'm setting a line drive double off. Does
Yeah.
that sound cute?
Yeah, that sounds real hot.
Sure, she called it. All right, so Delaney Wiz is batting. The runner on second base has been swapped out. It's going to be Sydney McKinney running for Mulipola. And this shows you how this game is different than any other level of softball. Right now, one run is super important for Team Faremo. If McKinney comes around to score, it would be worth 30 points for Team Faremo. They could still lose the game and have this be a very productive inning. We were talking to Delaney Wiz earlier. She's wearing a microphone when she's playing third, and we asked her about Rachel Garcia, and she talked about how amazing it was to play with Rachel Garcia, the competitor that she was. Now competing against Garcia with points on the line. Out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Wiz. After Wiz, Abby Ramirez in the on-deck circle. Clubbed to left. Making the play is Lorenz, tagging, heading to third, and McKinney is safe.
She trusts her speed there, I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness, she went too early. She left second early, they appeal, and she's out at second. Ball game. They have called this game over. The umpire at second base, Chuck McManus, said that McKinney left second too early. I'm assuming this is going to be challenged. Wow, what a way to end a ball game. So this is Charles Blackwell, the home plate umpire, is going to take a final look and see if the game is indeed over. The ruling on the field was the out made by Lorenz in left field, the second out of the inning, the throw back to the infield to second to appeal whether or not McKinney left early enough. They say that McKinney did leave too early. Oh my. This is 80 points hanging in the balance. 3 innings worth of points and 50 points for winning the game for Team Romero. Got to remember, the person who asked for the challenge is the second baseman, Sierra Romero, who was actually closest to the play. Why would Sierra Romero ask to appeal the play at second unless she was right there watching something? So this captain's challenge is being made by Megan Faremo. And here's the verdict. Mr. Blackwell, well, he's going to have a conversation. Well, we're all still waiting. These are synced. Did McKinney leave before the catch was made? Oh my goodness. By just a whisker. Somehow Sierra Romero saw that and chose to appeal, and they get the out, and the ball game is over. The coach's challenge is denied by Faremo. It is a 5-3 final score. Team Romero, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Wow, Eric, I can't say that I've seen that end a ball game. That's a first for me.
I tell you what, I keep on being amazed at the decisions being made by Sierra Romero.
Yeah, to be able to see that in the moment, to ask, and also for it to work in their favor, too.
Sierra Romero's the second baseman. She's watching like a hawk at McKinney's feet. Does she leave early?
That's a little bit of a different angle. I mean, she's off, but...
And look at Romero. You can see Romero in that small box left-hand part of your screen. She was pointing to the bag, letting the umpires know, I think she left early, we're going to appeal it.
And they're looking at the replays themselves.
If you can see Romero.
Dang, that's close,
in
though.
white looking and immediately pointing down to second. That was really tight. But because the call on the field was she left early, you had to have indisputable video proof to overturn it, and there was not any indisputable video proof to overturn it. So it's over. Wow. They win the 30 points for winning the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, and they win the ball game, so it's an extra 50. That is a huge surge of points for everyone on Team Romero. All right, with the brains of Sierra Romero, the captain who figured it all out, Savannah Collins is standing by. Savannah, take it away.
Thanks, Eric. We've been talking back and forth about the call to review that last play. Walk us through it. Who saw it? Who motioned to you? And how'd you get that last out to win this game?
Yeah, that was all Taylor. I was watching the ball. I was not watching the runner on the bag. And so when I looked up to her, she was like, check it. Not check it, tag her out at second. So I called for Jesse, and they were right. I trusted them. They watched the game. I trust Taylor with everything, so I was pumped.
You talked about how your philosophy with this team was instilling in them that you don't have to do it all, and that shows up in the stat sheet that almost everybody in this lineup picked up a hit. Tell me how you fed off of each other and really were able to come through in the moments when your team needed it.
I think the biggest thing is, I think they were just putting too much pressure on themselves a little bit. Last game, that was bummer. We hit really well. We had 9 hits, so it was just like the game just didn't fall our way, and it was just that simple. But I wanted to make sure that they knew that there was nothing more that they could have done. That's just softball, and that doesn't happen to Lily again. That doesn't happen very often. Lily is a dang good pitcher, and she knows it. So she knows she'll jump back and she'll be ready to go for the next game whenever we put her in. And I know that this team trusted what they were able to do, and I'm just proud of them because I know that they were wanting that win. So I'm happy for them.
You've got a staff that can do a lot of different things for you. Today it was Rachel Garcia going 6 innings. Talk to me about what you saw being behind her, kind of the mindset she was in when she stepped into the circle.
I think I speak for everybody. We didn't really know where the strike zone was, so I definitely wanted to make sure I kept her calm. So I told her, let me do the talking to the umpire. You just focus on pitching. But I just wanted her to know, let me chirp because I have your back. You just focus on throwing the ball, but I'll go after him. And I think that helped take maybe some of the pressure off of her, and she did a great job throwing.
Thanks for bringing us into what it's like to be on Team Romero. Appreciate it, Sierra.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Savannah hitting home runs all day long. Brilliant stuff. This is the great thing about Athletes Unlimited and women's professional sports. Everyone knew that Sierra Romero was a brilliant player as a collegian at Michigan. Now we know she's not only a brilliant talent, but she's also a brilliant mind. We've seen it day in and day out here in year 4 of Athletes Unlimited softball.
Well, and I feel like she's playing her best softball right now. She's the most confident that she's ever been on the field. You can see she fully trusts where her body's at and the body of work that has led her to this point. And now that she's a captain, you can see there's so much trust in not only her decisions, but the other women that are on the team with her. And that, to me, is ultimately what it comes down to in the moment. It's not always the most talented team, but the one that is able to come together in sync, same page, tend to be the ones that really rise to the occasion. And Team Romero, for me, has been a fan favorite since last week.
It is all about the leaderboard here with Athletes Unlimited and some major moves being made. How about Sierra Romero? Because her team picked up 80 points winning the last 3 innings and the game, she surges up to 3rd on the leaderboard. We still don't have the MVP points tabulated, but right now you got Odyssey Alexander, Bubba Nichols, Sierra Romero, and Mia Davidson in your top 4 with 2 more games to be played here in week 3. We will have them both for you on the ESPN family of networks, 4:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. Team Alexander trying to be perfect on the week. They'll take on Team Romero. That'll be followed up by a 7 o'clock start on ESPNU. Team Davidson is going to take on Team Baremo. Well, Danielle, it's still an awesome league. Athletes Unlimited softball is fantastic. Glad to have you back in the mix. My pleasure being next to you all afternoon long. For Danielle Laurie, for Savannah Collins, I'm Eric Collins saying so long from Rosemont.